Okay, what is going on? It is it's a rough day today. It is a rough day today in our news. Um Unfortunately, we have some bad news. We have some bad news to go over today. It's really a slow day as far as news goes, overall, but there was a pretty big banger, a bombshell, if you will, that I could not ignore or not comment on. I will get to that in a second. And first of all, let's start with some other uh, not good news as well for PlayStation. Um, I had mentioned in the last newscast that they were bringing Avengers and Borderlands 3 to PlayStation Now, which was great news. Um, Unfortunately, it's just like another like, hey, here's good news, but it also shows where Sony is fucking up because people have found out that uh, apparently PlayStation Now is a uh, PS4 only, not only, but a PlayStation 4 service. So, um, when people had PS5s and they went to go play Avengers, they want to play the dope 60 frames per second PS5 version. Same thing with Borderlands. You want to play the upscaled, fucking gorgeous version, right? With the adaptive triggers and all that good shit. Well, you can't do that. Um, if you want to, you're gonna have to buy the PS5 version at full price. Yet another way how Sony is doing poorly on the PlayStation Now front, and how it shows that that is in no way, shape, or form competition to Game Pass and Xbox and what they're doing. Um, yes, they are new games, newish games. Well, Borderlands definitely old, but Avengers came out not that long ago. It just got a recent update, a bigger update, and along with that, the PS5 upgrade update. But it's you know, it's a It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it just exposes another thing that Sony's doing wrong. Um, you know, you can't you can only stream. I mean, you can download PS4 and some PS2 games on PlayStation Now. You cannot download PS3 games because of the cell architecture or some other thing. I guess it's too hard for Sony to, you know, create an emulator or something that could be just an emulator. You don't have to have the hardware, the cell architecture hardware in the system. You could just create an emulator, but they're not doing that as far as we know. Um, Again, with the PlayStation 3 store closing, you know, we're losing all those games. Um, and the ease of ability to play those games. So it's just all looking bad for Sony. And then this news dropped. Um, so I don't know about you guys, but I have been a long time Hideo Kojima fan. Metal Gear in that series is it's definitely top five best series of all time in my opinion. Um, Even with five being half complete and then just a replay of what you did halfway through the game, and you know, Kojima not being there for half the game, and you know, um, that series was not sent off right. Um, Thanks, Konami. You fucking idiots. Thanks, Konami. So, there's been a lot of speculation on what his new game is going to be. Matter of fact, I remember seeing not long ago something about they're speculating that his new game was coming to PS5 exclusively or something like that. Well, that's not the case. Xbox is talking with him. It's only been reported so far that they're talking. However, from what I've heard, um, from I'm hearing that it's already done. That the deal's done. Uh, insider information. Ooh. Um, I'm hearing the deal's done already. Like it's already signed. It's done. It's over. It's taken care of. So I'm sure we'll be seeing an announcement on that soon. Um, and that is brutal. We don't really know for sure if it's exclusive, but I can only imagine that I'm sure that it is. Um, just like Death Stranding was for PlayStation, I imagine that's going to be the same deal, same route. So I don't see his game coming to PlayStation. I really don't. Maybe it will, but I doubt it. And I can't really blame him that much because he has every right to ask for everything that he wants, and apparently Sony didn't want to give that to him. There's ideas, rumors out there that the Sony wasn't exactly happy with the way that the production of Death Stranding went and how much control they gave him, and they didn't, I guess, weren't fans of that or something. I don't know. So I guess they didn't pursue him, which again, great move, great move. I'm really starting to question whether Jim Ryan needs to be in the position he's in. Uh, I mean, if something's in the works, if I'm missing something, if you guys got something big coming, you better fucking do it, and it better be good because you're getting your ass kicked by Xbox right now. I mean, smashed from the people that they're buying, the developers and the exclusive games, the way that they treat indies, and how Sony is kind of, not really working with indies the way they used to. Um, at least the majority. I mean, Xbox is about to buy Discord. Sony gets rid of their communities. Um, some of those communities I was a part of on PS4. They weren't even on PS5, so obviously they were getting ready to get rid of them. But it was great to be able to jump into a game that I didn't know much about, be able to go onto a community and say, hey, uh, new gamer, need some help, or looking for, skilled people, whatever. And I'm sure, I could just go on Discord or whatever. Um, but it was integrated into the system and it was nice. And then Sony takes that away. And Xbox is doing the exact opposite. They're buying Discord to be part of Game Pass and Microsoft and that experience and create connectivity and communities and shit. Um, and this is all part of a cycle I'm seeing to where when PlayStation 2 came out, um, Sony didn't have a huge bit of competition, so they got most of the market share. Xbox came in late, and it was a better system, but Sony was Sony. They had the games, they had the market share, all that. So then going into PS3, Sony was really fucking full of itself. And they started to uh, think that they could create their own cell architecture, which we already know was a nightmare to work for developers, and is part of the reason why nothing is really backwards compatible that well with the PlayStation 3, among other problems, like the reason why we couldn't change our PlayStation ID for the longest time, because of the way that they did that. They thought they were being smart And then not only that, but then they were massively behind Xbox. They didn't think that community and being able to create parties while people are in other games was a big deal. I mean, there was so many things that Xbox did better than PlayStation in the PlayStation 3 life cycle. A lot of people forget just how badly PlayStation lost that generation. Yes, there were great games. Yes, you know, Last of Us came. We had plenty of Uncharted's that were there that were great. Um, but most of those didn't come until late in the life cycle. So it wasn't as like the way it was with PS4 where they were just smashing. Uh, so that was like their lost year. They lost. They licked their wounds. They learned, and they brought out the PS4, and they did what they did with the PS4 and crushed. They destroyed Microsoft. And we're not even going to get into talking about Nintendo because that's a different thing. They're geared towards little kids and families and that sort. It's not the same thing. It's the fucking Hasbro version of fucking consoles. Okay, I love Mario. Nintendo's great. Grew up with them and shit, but just let's get real. So they don't really count because they don't really affect people that buy PlayStations. Like if you're buying a Switch and you're somebody that like is more hardcore of a gamer, is a real gamer, that's not your only system. If you have a Switch, you have something else. Everybody I know that has a Switch has something else. So that doesn't count. So again, Sony destroyed PS4 gen. Now here we are, PS5, and we're dealing with Sony's hubris again. We're dealing with them being full of themselves again, and we're watching the company that has something to prove surpass. Um, I think that within a year here, by this time next year, we're going to see Xbox sales consoles start to surpass Sony because people are going to see what happens this year with all the games that are coming, the announcements, the fact that there's Game Pass, um, the fact that I'm pretty sure that they are more easy to get. I don't really know because obviously I haven't tried. Uh, but I don't. And then also, if Microsoft really wants to, they could just throw their fuck you money around and buy all the fucking microchips if they really want to. And there goes Sony Supply, and that I mean this is how this game is played right now because Microsoft is a $1 trillion company. Sony is worth 78 billion. Okay, the deal that Microsoft made with Bethesda is more than 10% of Sony's total worth. If you combine that with the rumored number of 9 to 10 billion that they're paying, that they're going to buy Discord for, we're talking about two acquisitions that are chump change to Microsoft that would cripple Sony. It would, I mean, that's like 20, 25%, maybe even more of their whole, um, company worth. So, we're going to start seeing the effects of that here pretty soon because game development is not getting any cheaper. It's getting more expensive. Teams have to get bigger. The art, the graphics that these guys have to make, the amount of detail, that shit takes time. Plus, you add in the increased and more intelligent AI that these, new consoles can run. And we're talking about massive undertakings to make video games. These things are not easy to make. Even small indie games are not easy to make. And they're not cheap to make. So I can't really blame developers when, you know, uh, I mean, Sony could have never bought Bethesda for that. If they would have ever offered Bethesda anything, they might have offered them like, I don't know, maybe a billion at most. Like Microsoft is doing the we're gonna make an offer you can't refuse type deals, whereas Sony is like we're just trying to, you know, we're trying to buy you with the money we've been saving up for 3 Christmases. You know what I mean? Like it's just different. So, uh, personally, I think this might be just indicators of each one of these deals, whether it's Kojima, Bethesda, Discord. Um, I mean, just the amount of I mean, we're forgetting about all the other companies that they bought up, including like Ninja Theory, who makes Ninja Gaiden and Senua's Sacrifice and all that shit. So, um, it's with everything that they're doing, uh, it's gonna make a big difference. So, I think that Sony's gonna lose this round, this generation. Doesn't mean I'm going anywhere. Doesn't mean I'm ever going to buy an Xbox. I'm sure and I've been thinking about it anyway of making a PC, especially for streaming and capture card game captures and all that shit. Um, but yeah, now it's like, well, I'm not going to miss out on great games because Sony is fucking up. Because Sony's tripping up steps that they helped build, by the way. So, yeah, I'll get a PC and I'll play games that I can't play on PlayStation. I'll play them there. Um, that's as far as I'll go, though. I'll never go to the light side, if you will. So, it is what it is. I mean, we'll see what they do. But I could not ignore that today. I had to put something out because this is just it's disappointing. All right, Sony, you're fucking disappointing right now. Whew. Okay. So that's it. That's the show. I had to comment on that and say something. Me and Church will be holding our regular podcast, I guess, where we just talk about whatever. I'm sure we're going to get into a little bit of this. And there's some things happening with that walking skeleton that runs this country. I'm sure we'll talk about as well. So yeah, join us for that, which will be coming up very shortly. And thanks for watching. This was the newscast for April 8th of 2021. And it's not looking good for Sony. So fingers crossed. We'll see. I hope they got something in store. Thanks for watching. Like us. Follow me on Sorta Serious on Twitter. And we shall see you next time.